We're here again with my man Stuttering Craig at SGC 2010.
Yes.
Sir, how do you think? How'd it go? How's everything?
It's been awesome so far. You know, it's been, I thought we set the bar pretty high last year in 2009, but man, everything that I've been told has been, man, 2010 is way better. You know, I can't believe you guys totally raised the bar. It was incredible. And after the first day, I was like, oh, I've had so much fun, and like, I can't even imagine there's 2 more days. But yeah, so it's been great. It's been exactly what we wanted, just a huge party.
So, easier, harder this time around? Was it easier because you knew what to do? Was it harder because you had to think of new stuff to do?
Well, you know, that's a good question, because it was definitely, we knew what to expect somewhat, but there's always that uncertainty, you know. But we knew we could throw a great party, and from my aspect, you know, Corey, she handled up on SGC this year. She took SGC just by the balls and said, "I'm going to make it mine," and she did a great job. Sorry, I don't know if I can say by the balls.
Yeah, go ahead.
But anyways, so she did like just a phenomenal job of getting everything together. So it was all laid out nice and pretty for everybody who you know, all we had to do was pretty much just show up and get everything set up. So, you know, but other than that, it was great. It was easy from that standpoint, but man, it is hard work just going around and just doing all this. So
Well, on my podcast, you said that you tried to get the voice of Mario here.
yes.
That didn't fall through.
Yes.
Any other significant fall throughs that happened?
Yeah, actually there were a couple. We did try to get Charles Martinet, who was the voice of Mario, and he was pretty much locked in, and just some Nintendo stuff kind of happened, and I was like, that sucks. So it was never announced. We were also extremely close to getting some notable old school pro gamers who I don't want to mention, but I'll say were in a movie about King Kong, Donkey Kong.
Does he
Not
have
the good guy, but the bad guy in the movie.
Someone with the mullet.
Yes, and a tie. So, but you know, who knows? Maybe that'll happen next year. So.
Just say you're gonna sell his hot sauce just all over the place.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Billy Mitchell. When your last podcast on Side Scrollers, you mentioned that you were trying to get Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Capcom Japan said no.
Yes.
How did that even begin to get that process of getting Marvel vs. Capcom 3, considering it's not even coming out till next year?
Yeah.
And when we played at E3, it only had 10 characters.
Sure.
So what was that? I mean, was that just like, let's do it and see what happens?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, especially with the Iron Man and the mystery games, you know, you don't know until you ask. You know, you just got to ask. And with Capcom, it's a funny story, because when we were trying to get everything ready to go for E3, Capcom has a new guy on their PR team who doesn't really know. I guess he was just kind of like a new guy, and he was kind of being a jerk, and he was being a jerk to Destin. And Destin caught a little backlash from this guy, and it got back to like one of our friends at E3 who works there, and he's like, "Hey, I heard you just caught a little slack. You know, what can I do to make up for that?" And Destin was like, "Well, can we have Marvel vs. Capcom and SGC?" And he's like, "Yeah, consider it done." And we're like, "What? Are you serious?" So we just like flipped when he said that. But we, you know, you never get too high or too low. So you know, I still knew it was kind of a pipe dream, because I knew there's a lot of, you know, loose ends to be tied up and such. But everything from the U.S. side had said, "Let's do it." But you know, unfortunately, it's a completely other world over in Japan, and you know, things need to be you know, T's need to be crossed and I's need to be dotted. I think that's how the phrase goes. So they were not in this case.
It was a real shame, because here I am in the final 16.
I know.
And I actually played Marvel vs. Capcom 3,
Yeah.
so I would have had an advantage.
It would have been pretty wicked, but it's not. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a shame. All right, anything else you want to say to your fans that are going to be at home watching this, wishing they were here, and they love you so much?
Well, I love them so much. They're the greatest community in the world. The G1s are the best there is, and the best ever will be. They're the Bret Hart of online communities, for sure. So, you know, SGC is such a great time, and if they're not out here, you know, we don't want to like be like, "Oh, you should be out here," but you need to be out here, because it's one of those things that you can't experience until you come out and you're a part of it for yourself. So, SGC 2011 is right around the corner. So, you know. Get your friends together, and that's what this thing's all about. So hopefully we see everybody next year at SGC. And thank you guys so much for your support, and hopefully we can continue to have it, as we will continue to support you with awesome, fun stuff to do on a day-to-day basis.
That's the man, Stuttering Craig from ScrewAttack.com, SGC 2011. He's the best. Thank you, sir.
Sure, man. Thanks. All right, I gotta